welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is David Austin.
I'm Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome back.
This is going to be a really good show because you're opening a teeny tiny
Listen
soda.
to the best sound on the planet. That's fresh.
Welcome to the ASMR edition of The Session.
Our
with Londa and
kids were
David.
just here, and they like Diet Pepsi. I'm generally not a fan, but we bought it for them, and it's left here, and so I'm gonna drink it.
I used to drink Diet Pepsi exclusively with my rum and diet because the littlest Austins didn't care for Diet Pepsi, so I knew if I bought Diet Pepsi for my rum drinks, they wouldn't drink it. I used to do that. Now we're buying Diet Pepsi for the kids. It's a whole different world. A whole new world.
Okay, yeah, we're run over. I just noticed too on the on our table.
Yes.
I just saw something.
Yeah, you could talk about that. I left it there on purpose. It's a finger hat. Go ahead.
If you're not watching this on YouTube, you need to get the visual of this. The grandchildren were here for 2 weeks.
Right.
And we are finding little reminders of them all over the house.
It's
This
a Lego
is
man's hat.
A Lego hat.
Yes.
So it was on our, don't know why it was on this table.
Because it was on the floor in the hall,
Oh.
and I almost went down accidentally stepping on it, and instead I was able to scoop it up in the
Pivot.
nick of time, pivot, and I set it on this table because it was right outside the door of this room.
I see.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think the baby brought it to this room because she slept in here when she was here, and so it was like right outside the door.
Maybe, I don't know. It was such joyous chaos. I have no idea who took what where, but there you go.
We're going to have an action-packed show this week.
Ooh, tell me more.
I've got some real-world examples about how the stuff we talk about on this show really, really works.
Okay.
And it works great.
Okay.
And I've told this story a million times on the program, but I've never said it in public until last weekend when I went to the car dealership to get service on my vehicle. One of the things we say a lot on this program is tell people who you are and what you do. That's what your job is. If you're in the world of real estate and mortgage, the number one thing you can do is tell people who you are and what you do. Because once people know who you are and what you do, they're apt to ask you questions about what you do.
Yeah.
And that happened to me on Saturday. So I'm going to talk about that during the program. Also during this week's program, we're going to do the restaurant review no one asked for because I was with two of our P1 listeners, and that's people who listen to the show exclusively. It's their favorite thing to listen to. I was with two of them at a restaurant experience.
Okay.
So I want to talk about that during today's show.
You got it.
And whatever else you want to talk about today.
Yes.
And I love your deep V sweater neck. I think you look very cute today.
Oh, thank you. You can't see the back of the sweater. It's my favorite part of the sweater because the back of it is embroidered and it says, sunshine is a frame of mind.
It is. Sunshine is a frame of mind. And it's funny that you say that because we talked a lot about mind framing on the show last week.
Yes. And the week before.
That's exactly right. And
Yeah.
that brings me to what happened this weekend when I took my car in for service.
And hit it.
Well, I walked into the place and there was the guy behind the counter ready to welcome me in. And we started talking and he asked me.
I love that you're telling this story because it's a little juicy.
He asked me, hey, I see that you're a realtor and a lender. How's the market? And I said, it's actually really, really good. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We have a brand new listing that goes live tonight. and we're going to be doing an open house tomorrow. The market's kind of hopping. We've got a bunch of deals in the pipeline for Sherwood Austin Mortgage, the mortgage company.
And we've got a bunch of new listings coming up for the real estate company.
That's exactly right. And he says to me,
we've had buyers circle back out of nowhere recently and
Sure.
be like, hey, we're ready to buy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, all right, let's go, baby.
what he said to me next was really surprising. He said, I deal with a realtor who's kind of a big name out there. And I said, ooh, good. Who is it? He says, no, I don't want to talk about that. But I didn't like his attitude because I asked him how the market was, and he told me it was shitty. And I said, really? And he said, yeah. And I told the story that I've told on this podcast 1,000,000 times. If you've got a hole in the bottom of your shoe and you walk into Designer Shoe Warehouse and say, hey, I need help. I've got a hole in my Nikes. I need a new pair of Nikes. This brand of Nike, this particular model,
style, yeah.
I need this. If the person looked at you from behind the counter, right behind the register, and said, ooh, there was a fire at the rubber plant in Manila.
That's how many times you told this story.
Now's not the best time to buy Nikes because, rubber's expensive right now. And, with the tariffs and all, you may want to wait. What would happen? And the guy looked at me without missing a beat and say, oh, that guy would get fired for sure. I said, so why the hell are realtors and or lenders ever saying now's not the time? You say, if you need to buy, now's the best time for you.
Yeah.
I'm here to facilitate your dreams.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not here to tell you my political opinions. I'm here to find out what you're looking for in a home. Mm-hmm. And the guy looked at me and said, I need you to be my realtor. And then he gave me all his information. That's how it works. Be honest with people. If you're having a slowdown, you might say, I sure could be busier. I'd love to be busier. How can I help you?
You know how I say that?
How do you say that?
I say when things are slow, I say, we're really lucky here in our Tri-City market is always really healthy. That's what I say. Mm-hmm. Our Tri-City market is always really healthy. Right now, our team has plenty of time for new clients. Who do you know?
That's great.
So that's kind of how I say we're slow. Because it does ebb and flow a little bit, but all of that is true. We're very lucky. The Tri-City market does stay really healthy almost 100% of the time. It's weird because I hear from a lot of people that December is like a slow month. Mm-hmm. Blah, blah. December has historically been one of my busiest months. And I don't know if that's mindset. I don't know if, in fact, just yesterday, pointing over here because my board is over here. Mm-hmm. I wrote my closing goals for the rest of the year. Right now, it's mid-October. Most realtors are done making goals for the year. They're moved on to 2026. Well, I'm not done. I haven't reached my goals yet. And so I set some pretty audacious.
Audacious is right. Okay.
Yeah. It's because I have so much in my brain. Sometimes I can't think of the right word. Anyway, some pretty audacious goals for November and December because, it's, I don't know what I'm saying. It's just, it's always good. And I don't know.
We talked a little bit about this last week. When you say, I need to be busier, you make a few phone calls and like magic, boom, you're busier.
Yeah.
Because the basics of sales, you're not afraid to do. Blocking and tackling. You're not afraid to do that. There are a bunch of trick plays that people can do.
There's a book, a really popular book among realtors right now that I have not read, but I've had a couple of realtors share it with me. It's called Call the Damn Leads. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I've seen it advertised on social media and stuff. I haven't read it, but I mean, what's it going to tell you? Call the leads. That's what it's going to tell you. Like the whole book is Call the Leads, right?
Sure.
And so, back in the old days, we would talk about how, the phone is the heaviest thing in your office, right? Because it's so hard to pick up. And, I think, I almost feel like there might be space for a resurgence of old school skills.
I love that you just said that, because this week I knew I'd get you with this. I turned on, for your viewing pleasure, Glengarry Glen Ross, which you had not seen.
I've never seen it.
And I knew
I loved it.
I knew you would love it. Right? It's if for people who haven't seen this, it's a David Mamet play that they made into a movie in the 90s. And it's got a bunch of, at that moment, Hollywood stars. You've got Al Pacino, you've got Kevin Spacey, you've got Alec Baldwin, you've got Jack Lemmon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a wonderful cast, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that I knew you would love was the sales meeting in the beginning of the movie about,
oh my God,
where Alec Baldwin.
It reminds me of all my early days in sales.
Absolutely.
It's why I think it's why I don't have a lot of room for people who can't pull themselves out of it and just show up and do the freaking job.
And the language that the salesmen use in those scenes the language is so real. It's so true. Jack Lemmon's character, he's an old guy who's a little too old to be thinking about this crap. He's too old for this walks to the back of the room during the sales meeting and starts pouring himself a cup of coffee. And Alec Baldwin goes, "Put that coffee down." Mm. And he turns around looking shocked. And he's like, "What? Coffee is for closers."
Which I bet a lot of people have heard that line, maybe don't know where it came from.
That's exactly right. Coffee's for closers, and you're not closing anything. You can hit the bricks, Buster. Mm. And I've had sales managers who have spoken like that.
So have I. And you know what? I think it's time. Maybe it's time for a resurgence of that kind of, I mean, I'm big on empathy too. Mm-hmm. But I think you have to have both. I mean, I think that's why when I haven't coached any realtors for quite a while now, because I kind of stepped away from that, but quite a while, a year and a half, not even, but I think one of the things that I have always found challenging in my long 22-year business coaching career is the balance between, being hard as nails and soft as caramel all at the same time. Right. So but I had a client every meeting, she cried. Every single time we sat down and I started asking questions, she started crying, feeling like I was being mean. She said things like, "I'm not a shark like you." And I was like, "Oh my God, stop flattering me." She meant it as a...
like something disparaging because you're a shark and you're out to sell things. I had a realtor once. I had a realtor once say of me to another salesperson in my office, "I could never use David as a lender." And the guy's like, "Well, what do you mean you could never use David? He's too salesy." Oh, huh?
He
sells things? He's a salesperson who sells things? He's too salesy. Meanwhile, that guy's wife made a comment the other day that her husband was having trouble in the business and she had to help him out. So
I love when we tell stories. I'm telling a story and I can see the moment you realize who I'm talking about and vice versa. And we're like, ooh, but nobody can read my mind.
And we're not going to talk about who this person was, but
no, we're not.
That description goes part and parcel with the "I'm not a shark like you." You know what I mean?
Everybody gets to be themselves and whatever. Like, but I'm a big, I think this goes along with my idea that like, I don't need to make $1 million a month. I don't even want to make $1 million a month, but I want to make a nice living. And I think that most people in sales, in real estate, in lending, I think they are the same way.
Right.
Like you have your few who want to, be multimillionaires, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. I wanted to in the beginning too. And what I've discovered is, and we had a conversation last night that was very enlightening about this. All the money in the world doesn't fix anything.
It just gives you options.
The money in the world doesn't fix anything. It doesn't really change anything. And that's a deeper conversation. We talked for a couple hours last night about this, but I don't want to make millions. I want to make a living.
Right.
And I actually think that might be a future talk, workshop, book, something. But my I guess my point about that is you don't have to kill yourself, but you do have to show up and put in the work. And, you know, if what you're doing isn't working or if you don't like it, I guess that's what I'm talking about. If you don't like the results you're getting and you don't really like the work that you're doing, then you know, you gotta change it up. You've got to shift. And if you don't know how to shift, you got to keep trying new things till you find what works for you.
That's right.
And I'm clearly very passionate about this because I can hear myself, you know, talking. I am very excited and passionate about it. I was talking with a realtor yesterday. Well, let me start with this story about the open houses, and then I'll remind me about the text I got yesterday.
Okay.
So I was working with a realtor one time, and we were talking about ways to get leads.
Right.
You know, how do you get more business? I need more business. Okay, how do you get more business? Let's start by looking at where your business has historically come from. This is somebody who's been in the business a very long time.
Sure.
Let's look at where it's come from. So if you work with me, I make you track your numbers. Like if you don't know where you've been, you can't predict where you're going.
Right.
Right. So if I know, so we look at his numbers and his closings for the previous 12 months, and I make him track down where did each of those clients come from.
Sure.
Well, I met this one here. I met that one there. This one was a, you know, referral. This was a repeat customer, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. We're looking at all, I go, okay, how much time do you spend doing open houses? Oh, well, I do open houses every weekend. Okay. And what does that look like? How many hours are involved in that? And we calculated, and it was like, I don't know, 6 hours every weekend. I said, and how long have you done that? Oh, well, for years. Okay, let's calculate just the last year. Let's say you didn't do every weekend because you took some off, and we did the calculation, and it was astronomical, right? The number of hours spent. I said, but I want you to look at where your clients came from. And not a single one in the last 12 months has come from an open house, yet you spent X number of hours doing open houses. So, and you've told me you hate open houses.
Right.
Why are you doing them? Well, the seller expects, well, then find someone in your office, or now it's very commonplace to have somebody who's not in your office.
Right. It's a thing that happens.
Loves doing open houses, who rocks at open houses, who can't, I mean, they feel like it's the most magical thing in the world to do an open house, and it holds 100% of the opportunity for their week to hold an open house. Let them do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can go camping on the weekend or whatever you want to do.
Sure.
So if you're not happy with what you're doing, the work that you're doing, there's a way to pivot and change that. I just realized I'm talking about the unique ability.
That's right.
Oh my God, I can apply it to everybody else, but not myself.
That's interesting.
Anyway, that's a conversation for another time. But, okay, so the text I got yesterday, I am going to post it on social media, but I'm going to keep it anonymous.
Okay.
At some time in the future. So I was talking with a realtor and asking about this property for some buyer clients of ours. And I texted some information that 2 texts later, this realtor asked me the same question that I had answered 2 texts prior. Okay.
Sure.
And so a lot of times it is to cover my ass is why I do this. I screenshot it, sent it, and said, and then answered and highlighted where I had
already answered that question.
Already answered it and said, and then answered it again.
As
right?
previously stated.
I didn't even say that because I think that's a little snarky.
Okay.
But I just want them to know, like, I did say it, but not in a, I already told you that kind of way. Like, I'm covering my bases here, you know?
Yes.
And so, anyway, the answer that I got back, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've got 14 listings right now and 4 deals in escrow, and I'm also working with several buyers. I forgot you said that. Now, I'm reading it in a snarky tone, and maybe it wasn't in a snarky tone.
What other tone could you possibly have?
Well, it could have been.
I'm sorry.
I am so. This is, let me do it.
Don't add words. Just do the same words.
Let me act it out, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I've got 14 listings and 4 deals in escrow, and I'm working with a bunch of buyers, and I forgot that you said that.
Okay.
Tone matters,
Tone
right?
does matter.
Which is why when I responded, I said, we all get busy and need a reminder from time to time. No big deal.
Right. And you wanted to say, suck it, little Lord Fauntleroy.
What I wanted to say is this is why we're overstaffed by design, both on the lending side and the realtor side. The real estate side, the lending side of our business, we're overstaffed by design. We've got incredible support teams in place. And the reason that we do is so that we never have to say, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I forgot you said that.
Ooh.
Ow.
And nobody's perfect. And I do believe that we all get busy and need a reminder from time. I forget stupid things. I, make dumb mistakes on contracts. I try to be, gracious, I guess, right? At times. But anyway, I don't know what I was saying. I just wanted to tell that story.
It's a good story. And bringing us back to Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yes.
All the excuses that you can possibly have in a sales bullpen were being spit out during that. These leads are trash. They're old. They're from 6 months ago. Oh, it's so funny to hear that language and hear it it's still so relatable, right? And then supposedly there are these magical Glengarry leads that are premium leads, right?
I just called a lead yesterday that's 5 months old.
Right.
Closed it.
Was it one of the premium leads that you stole off my desk?
No, actually it was a referral, and I actually made a post about it and talked about it. Was a referral from Savannah, which was a referral from David. Annie's a referral from Savannah. Savannah was a referral from David. And I've worked with Savannah when Clark, her son, was, small enough to still need training wheels. And Clark just went to his first school dance, and I am not okay because from training wheels to the school dance is, a long time, and you get really involved in people's lives and stuff. And Savannah and Annie have been co-workers, and as co-workers became sushi buddies. They have a weekly sushi date, right? And it's a good thing they do because Annie recently retired, and now they're not co-workers anymore, but they still have the weekly sushi date. And when Annie decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell the farm. I'm going to buy a mini Winnie. And I'm going to just pack it up and go travel. It's just
Hit
me.
the dusty trail.
Kids grown, nobody to worry about. I'm going to just go and have an adventure for a few years. And when she was telling Savannah about this on one of their sushi dates, Savannah said, I know exactly who you need to call.
That's right.
And she called us, and actually, no, we called Savannah said, hey, I've got this friend. And I'm like, well, give me your number. I'll give her a call and see, because I'm not afraid to call. The thing is, if she's talking about it, she wants to do it.
Right.
It might not be right now.
That's right.
If somebody walks into your open house,
nobody's there just to look at kitchen designs.
They're not kicking tires. They're not. It might not be right now, but they do have a desire to buy or sell if they walk into your open house.
There is a housing problem. I've preached this for years when Oasis Custom Homes was still in business, and I was their kind of de facto sales manager and their builder's lender, Les, who owned the company, and I, during our sales meetings, would preach. No one wakes up on a Saturday morning and says, "Hon, what do you want to do today? You want to go to the movies?" "No, that's not what I'm feeling." Do you want to go
hike Badger?
No. Do you want to go to the mall? No. You know what I think might be fun as just kind of a wild hair? Let's drive around town. No, we're specific. Look for signs that say open house.
Yeah.
And then walk into them. What do you say? No one has ever done that in the history of all time.
Now, I will say one person might say that to the other person to get them into the open houses because there's secretly a housing
You have to have a housing problem to be interested in going to look at real estate.
It might not be right now, which is something that I think people in sales, especially a big ticket item like what we deal with, it is the long game. It is a long relationship.
Absolutely.
It is not very often that you meet somebody and it's that quick, right? It often is the long game.
Sure.
Statistically, the National Association of Realtors says that people, from the time they start thinking about buying a home till the time they're actually in that home, 9 to 24 months. If that ain't a long game, I don't know what is.
Sure.
So we went out and walked through Annie's property and gave her some direction on getting it prepped, for listing, and gave her some ideas about, opinion of value and that kind of thing. And 5 months later,
now she's ready.
She's ready to, sign on the dotted line.
That's exactly right. And it's because we are authentically who we are everywhere we go in everything we do.
Some of it is because I plugged her into our system too. That's the other thing. We went out and we met, but we have a follow-up system that I can plug people into. And our follow-up system spans everything from AI-generated emails to handwritten notes.
Sure.
And everything in between, because I believe in utilizing everything that you can, right?
Yes.
And so we did plug her into the system, and systems work, and that's why you use systems.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, it's old school and new school.
Yeah. So anyway.
I like that. Okay, now it's time for the restaurant review nobody asked for.
All right.
We have been disappointed out at meals several times in a row in the last month. Several times in a row. We go out. It's not quite what we thought it would be.
We've been so disappointed that yesterday I did some menu planning and did a big grocery shop because I would like to have meals that taste good.
Right. Sure. We order.
And last night's dinner was amazing.
We order a pizza. It's just not quite right. You know what I mean? We go out and sit down somewhere. It's just not quite right. Well, yesterday, I had a business meeting with two of the people who regularly not only listen to this show, but engage with us about it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And one of them said, "Hey, I haven't heard a restaurant review nobody asked for in a while. Has anything changed?"
It's been a couple weeks.
The answer is no, nothing's changed. We've just been doing other stuff. So this restaurant review nobody asked for is because somebody actually did ask for a restaurant review nobody asked for.
Okay.
I was at this.
I feel like you have a conflict of values. No,
I was at this brunch meeting with these two people, and it was at the Village Bistro in Kennewick, Washington.
Okay.
And I will say I'm a little biased, and I want to only ever say nice things about the Village Bistro because Kara Vogt is someone that I've known for 15 years since her kids were little tiny people. She taught both of my children to swim when they were little tiny people.
It's that same thing.
That's even more time.
Yeah.
So I've known this family forever and a day, and I love them. So I want to say nice things about them. But here's the deal. I purposely ordered something I didn't think I'd like. I did it on purpose because I didn't really, I don't like breakfast potatoes. I don't like them, and I've said it time and time again. But I ordered their country fried steak product, even though it was 11:30. They still had breakfast out. So I ordered that, and it comes with loaded hash browns, which... No, I don't want that. But I'm not super hungry. I'm not going to eat a lot of it. It's fine. I'll just get that the way it comes.
Nobody believes that.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm furious because the loaded hash browns were by far the best breakfast potato product I've ever had. I mean, they were crispy. They were covered in cheese. They even had hidden peppers in there. I didn't know. I don't like peppers. I'm like, no, I don't want that. But they did. Spectacular. I cried a little bit during my meal.
Oh, you did not. Good grief.
That's how good they were. And the sausage gravy on my cube steak, beautiful. Loved it. And it was a better quality cut of meat than normally you have when you have country fried steak at a restaurant, because normally it's like dog food shaped like a steak.
So I think it's interesting you say that because
I do like that dog food.
Woof woof. I was just listening to an interview about food, restaurant food in America. And the guy was saying, if you feel like no matter where you go, it all tastes the same, you're right, because it comes from two sources, Cisco or Food Services of America.
That's right.
And that's it.
Yes.
Unless you go to a restaurant that's doing locally sourced,
farm to
whatever.
Table.
Yeah.
This came from a cow named Kyle.
Portlandia style.
Right.
Then it is all the same.
Do you think we could meet the chickens? Should we go to the farm and meet the chickens?
You can get on the bus. It is all the same garbage. And I'm a big proponent of cooking at home anyway, but yeah.
I really liked it, and I'm not just saying that, and I was furious that I liked it so much, and I had to stop eating and push my plate away because I wanted to keep going, but I was full.
Wow.
I had a later breakfast than normal. I ate at around 9 in the morning because I had the gym and then disc golf. But it was incredible, so I would say 9 out of 10 at the Village Bistro for their late breakfast. So there you go. That's my restaurant review nobody asked for. I'm sorry you weren't there, but you did come up in the conversation.
I will give you a food review.
Okay.
If you are into locally sourced, super high quality, grass-fed, grass-finished, regenerative farming meat, Lone Crow Ranch.
Lone Crow Ranch.
In Richland.
Okay.
They've got a storefront, which I'm very grateful for. A lot of these places, you only can catch them at farmers markets or you order online. But Lone Crow Ranch has a storefront in the, what's it called?
In the Parkway.
The Parkway in Richland. And let me tell you, go in there and ask for some recommendations and then do it.
That shoulder steak that they made us was great.
Golly.
Yeah.
The meat is delicious. It is so good. I was really, really, really pleased. And so, it's expensive. Who cares? Everything's expensive. It's cheaper than eating out. And you'll be more satisfied. I'm just saying.
Well, I had a really good time at the Village Bistro with my friends from the Rotary Club, the Columbia Center Rotary, of which we are members. You're the newest member.
Which I am now a member. Thank you. I'm a fellow Rotarian.
I'm very proud of you.
I'm super excited.
We have 40 seconds left in the show. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just that systems work. I want you to remember that. And this is why we have systems in our life. You guys have been around long enough to see me go through ups and downs emotionally. Systems save me. And so I would say implement some systems.
There you have it. There it is.
You're going to be okay.
For Londa, Joanne Sherwood Austin, the prettiest girl in the world, I'm David Austin. We'll see you next week on The Session with Londa and David.